Hi there and welcome back to my channel. This is Sophie, your crochet cheerleader. Today we are making something fun and functional, a crochet tissue roll cover. It's a quick and stylish project that's perfect for adding a cozy, handmade touch to your home, or as a sweet little gift for someone special. You can go with calm neutral tones or play with bright colors. It's totally up to you. So grab your yarn and let's get started. For this project, you will need cotton yarn in 4 colors. Today I will be working with the neutral color set. You will also need a stitch marker and a 4mm crochet hook. We are going to start with a foundation chain. You need a number that's a multiple of 4. And for my tissue roll, I'm chaining 56. Let's begin with a slip knot. To make a slip knot, hold your yarn like this. Take your hook and wrap it around. Hold this point right here. Then yarn over and pull through. Tighten the knot by pulling the tail. And to adjust the loop on your hook, just gently pull the working yarn. And just like that, you have made your slip knot. Now yarn over and pull through the loop to make the first chain. Repeat that. Yarn over, pull through. We have got chain 2, 3, and keep going until you reach the number of chains you need. Here is how I check if 56 is the right length. I wrap the chain around the tissue roll and make sure it's slightly snug. Not too tight but not loose. Just enough so it will hold its shape nicely when we put the tissue roll in. Now that you have got the right number of chains, we are going to join this chain into a ring. Before you do that, check your chain isn't twisted. Follow the chain from the hook on the way back to the beginning and make sure it lays. Most people join by inserting the hook into the first chain and doing a slip stitch to join, but personally I don't like this way. It often leaves a little gap between the stitches and I call it the unhappy edge. Instead, I like to join into the backbone of the chain. And here, these are the backbone of each chain. Let me show you more clearly. Here is the first backbone. And here's the next one. Let me show you how it looks when you work into the backbones of the chain. This one I made earlier. Can you see the edge? It looks like little V stitches. This technique creates a clean, polished edge that matches the top of your work. And I just love how tidy it looks. It gives a cleaner and more professional edge. Some people find it a bit tricky to work into the backbone, and that's totally okay. If you prefer, you can just go through the top loop right here. But for me, I really like when my work looks clean, so I always go into the back bump. So now insert your hook into the bump like this. And then grab your working yarn. Yarn over and pull through the bump. Then pull through the loop on your hook. And just like that, you have joined your chain into a ring. For round 1, we are going to start by chaining 1. Into the same pump right here, we are going to work 1 single crochet. This will be our first stitch, so let's place a stitch marker here. I really recommend using a stitch marker for this pattern. because it's a little bit more advanced and the stitches can be hard to see, so don't skip it. But no worries, I will go slow, so even if you are a beginner. Now into the next bump, we are going to do 2 double crochets to make our first increase. So here's how to do a double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook into the bump, and yes, it might feel a bit tight, so use your nail to help guide the hook through. Then yarn over and pull through the bump. Now yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and again yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops. That's 1 double crochet. For the increase, we will do 1 more double crochet into the same bump, yarn over, insert into the same bump, pull up a loop, yarn through 2, yarn through 2. So our first increase is done. We are going to repeat this pattern in the next 2 bumps as well. 2 double crochets in each one. So yarn over, insert into the next bump, pull up a loop, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. That's 1. And again in the same bump, 2. And now the next bump, we do the same. 1, 2. So here's the pattern for this round until the end. 1 single crochet and 3 increases of double crochet. Let's do it one more time together. Find the next bump. If you're not sure which one is the next bump, just turn your work like this. You will see the little stitch light up, and that helps you spot where to go next. Okay, next bump, 1 single crochet. Then in the next 1, 2, 3 bump, we are going to work 2 double crochets in each bump. That's your first increase. Second increase. Third increase. Keep repeating this pattern and I will meet you at the end of this round. Now let's start round 2. To begin, we are going to make a slip stitch into the single crochet right here. Then yarn through this stitch and this loop. But this time we are going to count this slip stitch as our first stitch. So go ahead and place your stitch marker here. Then into the first double crochet of the increase, we work 1 single crochet. So we start from slip stitch, then 1 single crochet. Now for the next 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, we are going to make 4 front both double crochets. To do that, yarn over twice on your hook. So you will have 1, 2, 3 loops. Now we are going to crochet around the bust. This is the bust, not the little V on top. You might think to go into this one, but that one belongs to our single crochet and we have already used it. So we start from the next one. Insert your hook around the bust here, from front to back and back to front like this. Then yarn over and go through this bust and pull up a loop. Now you will have 1, 2, 3, 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through 2. Yarn over and pull through 2. And again, yarn over and pull through 2. That's one triple crochet. Yarn over twice again. And let's do the same for the next bust here. Front to back and around. Pull up a loop and go through 2, 2 and 2. Now do the same for the next 2 here. Yarn over twice, go around the bust, pull up a loop, yarn through 2, 2 and 2. Repeat that one more time. Work around this one. You can see this is our last double crochet in this pattern part, and once we finish this triple crochet, we will work one single crochet right after it. And finally, when you reach the last double crochet from the previous round, work one single crochet into the top of that stitch. You are going to start the next repeat from this single crochet on the way up to here. So the repeat of the pattern is slip stitch, single crochet, 4 front both triple crochets, and then 1 single crochet. So I'm gonna go one more time with you. Slip stitch, then 1 single crochet into the first double crochet, now in the next 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, we are going to do front both triple crochets. So yarn over try, go around the bust and yarn through 2, 2 and 2. Repeat that until you have 4 front both triples. So we have got our 4 front both triple crochets, and now we are going to do 1 single crochet into the last double crochet, and that's it. This is the pattern. So just keep repeating this on the way around until the end of the round. I have finished round 2 and now we are moving on to the round 3. So this is a slip stitch where we placed our marker. We are going to start with a slip stitch into this stitch. Just like before, this slip stitch will be our first stitch. Next, we work 1 single crochet into the next stitch. Now for round 3 and 4, the pattern is exactly the same as round 2, but instead of working around the double crochet balls, we are going to work around these triple crochet balls. So go ahead and yarn over twice. Insert your hook around the balls of the triple crochet. Pull up a loop, then yarn through 2, 2, and 2. Repeat this for the next 3 triple crochets. And after that, work 1 single crochet into the next stitch. So that's the pattern you will follow. Slip stitch, 1 single crochet for front bow triple crochets, and then another single crochet. Keep repeating this pattern on the way around to finish round 3, and use the exact same pattern for round 4. I will see you after round 4 is done. I have now finished round 4, and let me show you how to count the rounds in your work. This is round 1, here is round 2, then round 3, and finally round 4. So for the next round, we are going to start decreasing. First, slip stitch into this stitch right here. This is our first stitch, so go ahead and mark it. Now for our first decrease, we work the single crochet and the next triple crochet together. To do that, insert your hook into the single crochet and pull up a loop, then yarn over twice and insert your hook around the triple crochet balls. Pull up a loop again. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on your hook. Now yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Yarn over and pull through the next 2. And now you have 3 loops left. Yarn over and pull through on 3. That's your first decrease done. Next, we are going to decrease 2 triple crochets together. Yarn over twice. Insert your hook around the first triple balls and pull up a loop. Now you have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn through 2. Yarn through 2. You have 2 loops left. Now yarn over twice again. Go into the next triple crochet. Pull up a loop. Now you have 5 loops on your hook. Yarn through 2. Yarn through 2. And now you have 3 loops left. Yarn over and pull through on. That is the second decrease made by working 2 triple crochets together. And now for the third type of decrease, 1 triple crochet and 1 single crochet together. Yarn over twice. Go into the triple crochet. Pull up a loop. Yarn through 2. Yarn through 2. Now you have 2 loops left. Then insert your hook into the next single crochet, pull up a loop. Now you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through on. We have done 3 decreases, and now we are going to repeat this pattern one more time. First, slip stitch into the next stitch, then make 1 decrease by working a single crochet and a triple crochet together. Insert your hook into the first single crochet and pull up a loop, yarn over twice on your hook, and go into the triple crochet post and pull up a loop, yarn through 2, yarn through 2 again, and finally yarn through on 3 loops on your hook. Now yarn over twice, and we are going to do a decrease by working into these 2 triple crochets. Insert your hook around the first post and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, pull through 2, then yarn over twice again. Insert your hook into the next triple one, pull up a loop, yarn through 2, yarn through 2 again, and finally yarn through on 3. One more last decrease, yarn over try on your hook, insert your hook into the last triple one, pull up a loop, yarn through 2, yarn through 2 again, insert your hook into the next stitch and pull up a loop. Now yarn through on. So that's the pattern you will follow: slip stitch and 3 decreases. Keep repeating this pattern on the way around until the end. I have finished round 5. Now for round 6, we are going to work 1 single crochet in every stitch. Start by working 1 slip stitch into this stitch. Then chain 1 and work 1 single crochet into the same stitch. So this is our first stitch for this round. We work 1 single crochet in every stitch throughout this round. But as you can see, these are gaps at the decreased stitches. To fix this, I like to insert my hook into the strings below, together with the V top loop, and then make 1 single crochet. Now you can see the gap is gone. Do the same for the next stitches. For the single crochet right here, we don't need to do that. Just insert into the V top loop. Only insert into those strings when you see a gap. This method closes the gaps and gives a net finish. Keep going like this and stop just before the last stitch of this round. Now at the last stitch of the round, we are going to chain to a new yarn color. So insert your hook into this stitch. Grab your new yarn and leave a tail. Then yarn over and pull through the stitch and the loop on your hook. Now we are ready to crochet with the new yarn. Make a slip stitch into the next stitch. Then chain 1 and make 1 single crochet into the same space. This is our first stitch of the new round, so place your stitch marker here. At this point, you can trim off the previous yarn. The pattern for this round is the same as round 1 from the last color. So for this round, the pattern is 1 single crochet and then 3 double crochet increases in the next 3 stitches. So yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn through 2 and 2. That's your first double crochet. Now make 1 more double crochet into the same stitch. That's your first increase. Then continue with the second increase. The third increase. And so on. Repeat this pattern until the end of the round. Then continue by repeating the pattern for round 2, 3, 4, 5 and round 6, exactly the same as before. I will see you again just before the last stitch of round 12 where we change yarn color once more. For now, I will leave the pattern for round 7 to 12 on the screen. At the end of round 12, it's time to change to a new yarn color. Insert your hook into the last stitch. Pick up your new yarn and leave a little tail hanging. Pull the new yarn through the stitch and the loop on your hook to finish the color change. Now we are ready to continue with the new color. Next, slip stitch into the following stitch. Chain 1 and make 1 single crochet right into the same spot. That's your first stitch for the new round, so pop a stitch marker in there to keep track. Pull the working yarn to tighten this loop. You can cut off the old yarn, we won't need it anymore. Now just like the last 2 parts we did, keep repeating the same pattern and the only difference is the yarn color. I leave the pattern for this section on the screen, so follow along the same way. But here's an important note. In this color section, we are adding 1 extra round with the double crochet stitches. So you be doing 4 rounds total instead of 3 like before. Don't skip that extra round. I will see you again at the last stitch of round 18. I'm at the end of round 18 and now I'm going to switch to a new yarn color. First, pull up a loop and let it hang for now. Then insert your hook into these 3 loops right here. Like this. Grab your new yarn. And pull it through those loops. Now the new yarn is attached and ready to use. Next, make a slip stitch into the following stitch. This is our first stitch of the round. To get rid of the loose loop, gently pull the working yarn. And it will tighten nicely. You can now trim up the old yarn. Place a stitch marker on that first stitch. Now for the next stitch, we are going to do a decrease of 1, 2, 3 triple crochets together. But instead of using triple crochets, we will work a double crochet decrease. Here is how to do it. Yarn over, insert your hook into the first stitch here, and pull up a loop. You will have 3 loops. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. Now you have 2 loops on your hook. Before inserting into the next stitch, yarn over. And remember, it may look like 2 bows, but it's actually just 1 stitch. Pull up a loop, yarn through 2. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over once more, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn through 2. Now you have 1, 2, 3, 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through on 4 loops. That's your double crochet decrease of 3 triple crochets together. Repeat this pattern for the round. Slip stitch into the next stitch. Then work a double crochet, yarn over, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn through 2, yarn over again, insert into the next one, pull up a loop, yarn through 2, yarn over one last time, insert into the last triple stitch, pull up a loop, then yarn through 2, then yarn through on to finish this decrease. So this is the pattern of this round. Slip stitch, double crochet, decrease of 3 triple crochets. Repeat this pattern until you reach the end of the round. I have finished round 19, and now for round 20, we are going to work decreases by crocheting 2 stitches together. We start with our very first decrease right from the first stitch. Insert your hook into the first stitch and pull up a loop. Then insert into the next stitch and pull up another loop. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn through on 3 loops. That's your first decrease. Place your stitch marker here to mark this spot. You might notice some gaps here, but don't worry. For this round, we will just crochet into the V-top loops. We will fix those gaps in the next row. Now repeat the same pattern. Insert your hook into the next stitch. Pull up a loop. Then into the next stitch. Pull up a loop. Now yarn through on 3 loops. Keep repeating this on the way around. Insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, insert, pull up a loop, yarn through 3 loops. So keep repeating this pattern until the end. So I have a total of 14 decreases. For the last round, we are going to crochet 1 single crochet into each stitch, and to fix the gap, we will insert the hook into this little hole just below the top V loop. Insert into the space and work a single crochet as usual. Place your stitch marker on the first stitch. Now insert your hook into the next small hole and make another single crochet. Keep repeating this step until you have 14 single crochets in total. So finally I have finished the last round. Now we can trim up the yarn. And pull the tail through the last stitch. We are going to do a seamless join. You will see this is the first stitch and this is the second. Thread your needle through the second stitch from back to front. Gently adjust the loop so it's the same size as the other stitches. Then bring back the needle back down into the last stitch you made. Look at that, you can't even tell where the round was joined. And secure it on the wrong side. So to hide the yarn tail, I like to tie a small knot first. Then weave the tail forward and then backward. This way it stays nice and secure. Now trim up the left yarn. Now go ahead and hide on the tail ends and you are done. And that's it, you did it! Isn't it satisfying to watch those textures come to life? I hope you enjoy crocheting with me today. If you make this far, don't forget to give this video a little thumbs up. And if you are feeling generous, leave me a comment. I love to hear what color you are using or if you are gifting this to someone special. See you in the next one.